Promise that you sing about me forever. Promise that you sing about me forever. Promise that you sing about me forever.
So all you would need to do is go to VIEISME.com, vieisme.com, and that's where you will find everything about Memoirs of a Forgotten Child and also what I've been up to. I do daily blogs, so it would be in the blog section. I also do YouTube videos, so it would be in the YouTube videos. And for the book, you can either go to the book, which details what's inside the book and the reason of it coming into existence. And if you already know all that because you watched all my YouTube videos, then you go to the store tab. And at the store tab is the back cover and the front cover together. And you will just click. The miniature version of the book, and then you would get to the book page, and then you would get to the cart, and all you gotta do is click add cart, then proceed from there.
Hi, so this video is going to be pretty short because it's mostly going to be me talking and having pictures to verify what I'm saying. This video is going to be about Black men being the biggest haters, and I want to include examples of why I say that because it's true. It's true. You see this all the time in the media. You see this in your local neighborhood. You see this with rappers. You see this with even on social media with trolls and whatnot. The biggest trolls are Black men. The biggest haters are Black men, and I don't really see why that is. It's like when someone's coming up, someone's doing something, someone has potential, someone is striving. If no one else in that circle or in that community or whatever is doing the same thing, it's like I either gotta knock you or I gotta take your life. And it just is mind-boggling that you would think women are haters. And that is true, women do hate. But what I will say is a girl, when it comes to fighting, a girl will do it viciously. Girls fight viciously. There is no limit. There's no chill. Everything is crossed. Everything gets thrown into it. Like there's no decency. When girls fight, it's all or nothing. And it's aimed to just completely annihilate you. When guys fight, they can fight, kick a beer later, and everything is cool. But when it comes to hating, a girl may whisper and gossip, and that's that. A guy is like, I want to demean you. I want to remind you every single day, this is how I think of you. This is how I view you. I'm going to crack on you. I'm going to take from you. I might even kill you. And it's a Black male thing. I see it specifically with Black men. Now, I'm not saying Asians don't do it. I'm not saying Hispanics don't do it. I'm not saying any other groups don't do it. I don't really know because I don't really hang out with other groups of folks. But I do see it predominantly with Black men. It's always a tear down session, especially when it comes to other Black men. Now, it could be Black men with other people and other groups of people, and they do the same thing too. But I see this more often when it comes to Black men and other Black men, especially if one of them has potential, especially if one of them deviates from the norm of not doing anything, partying and bullshitting. They're actually striving to be a business owner or striving to go to school or just striving to do better in life. There's always a group of haters or just a hater trying to bring them down. So in this video, I will explain where I'm coming from with it, and I'll definitely add pictures, and I'll come to you at the end.
When it comes to hating, Black men definitely take the cake on this. I see this all the time. I would say like the first time I experienced this is when a girl said that she had a crush on, like, let's say a celebrity or a particular male, and guys would always hit you with the he's gay. I remember in middle school I had a biggest crush on Chris Brown, and everybody used to say he's gay, he's gay, he's gay. Now he done gone through plenty of women and has a baby girl, and I'm pretty sure there will still be some men talk about he's gay, just to hate, just to be jealous that that guy has that quality of pulling chicks because he's just that dude. But besides that, I see this even as an adult when it comes to Black men and relations with other Black men and how Black men view each other. Now, Steph Curry is a professional basketball player. He plays for the Golden State Warriors. He's like robotic. Everybody is just like Steph Curry, Steph Curry, Steph Curry. He kind of came out the woodwork, so his father was a professional basketball player too. Right now is his season. When I mean season, it's like right now people are talking about him. He's hot right now. Everybody is, you know, checking for him because he's just that dude. The way he perceives times, the way he's getting the ball in the basket, it's unprecedented, and he's getting that shine. However, there's people talking crap about him. There's people saying, oh, he's not really that great. Come with the light skin jokes. It's probably his light skinnedness and these light skinned dudes taking over the NBA and light skin ain't in. And I'm like, it's funny because dudes will say black women have a colorism complex, but what isn't said is black dudes also have a colorism complex. Let these quote unquote light skinned and soft niggas start pulling chicks that these quote unquote dark skin or brown skin dudes thought they could pull or was reserved for them. All of a sudden it's a conspiracy. It's like light skinned people can't get props unless they're females, and light skinned dudes are automatically soft. However, the biggest person that really gets knocked off for being light skinned and for being good in the game is Drake. Now, yes, there's controversy about him as to if he really writes his own rhymes. A couple of people coming out saying he doesn't pay them and he doesn't really write his own lyrics. He has a team behind him. I don't know if that's true or not. What I will say is that I do like some of Drake's songs. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a Drake fan per se because I feel like there's multifaceted reasons why I would be a fan, and he just doesn't meet those qualities when it comes to like club bangers. When it comes to certain singles, yes, I like them, but when it comes to him as an artist, I feel like he's lacking because he's not talking about other things besides stripper hoes, ex-girlfriends, and did I mention stripper hoes? So other than the typical niggas shit, I don't really see he talks about anything else. Oh, and also he'll talk about his friends being in the street, but he didn't have to be in the street. His issues with his daddy not really being there for him, and how he had to grow up with white Jewish moms. It's a lot of relationship things that he talks about. It's kind of like, ugh. But anyways, other than that, that's pretty much what's in store for a Drake song. But that's not here or there. I'm not here to knock him or give him props. What I will say is that there are plethoras of memes talking about how soft he is and how light-skinned he is, and he's the type of nigga to do this. People actually started the hashtag or just the saying, Drake's the type of nigga, Drake's the type of person, and they're going in on him for just speaking his truth. Now, like I said, his truth tends to be a little stripper hoe, simping, catering to low-hanging fruit women, but that's his prerogative. I mean, it is what it is. If that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. But I see a lot of black men, it's just like low-key hate. I'm not sure if you don't like his music, so you have the right not to like it and you're saying how you feel, or is it really that you hating on him because he could pull the chick? Now, yes, he appeals to the emotional side, and he, you know, sings softly, and he goes into the emotions and makes girls feel good. And I'm not gonna lie, a couple of Drake songs when I'm down makes me feel good too. But it's like, y'all knocking him from being on his grind. Like, that's what he does. He's an artist. He can rap and sing. Like, what do you expect for him not to use all his talents to make money? It's like, I don't understand where you guys are coming from, and it's just lame. To be honest, it's totally and completely lame. And you don't have to like Drake. You don't have to like any of his songs, but to knock him and consistently make memes about him being light skinned and his light skin affects his behavior is so ridiculous, because there have been light skinned people who put in work. There have been light skinned people in history who have done things that quote unquote dark skinned people didn't do. Supposedly Nat Turner was a mulatto, and we all know about Nat Turner. Frederick Douglass was a mulatto, and we know about Frederick Douglass. I mean, there's Dr. Phil Valentine, and he puts in that work, and he breaks down all the ways and views of white supremacy. So to be light-skinned is not to be soft. It just means you're light-skinned. So I don't know why people make that connection, especially when it comes to males who are lighter skinned, as if like they're less masculine because they're light. And I think that's definitely a double-edged sword, because when it comes to darker skinned women like me, does that automatically make us masculine because we happen to be dark skinned? Like, I don't understand the perception of that. And if that's the case, then that would mean the majority of black women are pseudo males, and I don't want to go down that road. And that belief, that mentality definitely needs to like be gone, because that's just not realistic. But like I said, a lot of this animosity that's coming out is black men against other black men. And if we really want to go into it, it's specifically darker skinned black men versus lighter skinned black men. Regardless, I see this across the board where men feel the need to just hate on each other, just to go in on each other, just to bring each other down like a crab in a barrel. What I will say is, if a girl is on her grind and she's doing things, girls will support her. Girls will support things. They will support things not with their words, but with their actions, with their money. That's what I will say about women. If we like something, we have no qualms spending it. That's why you see us weaved up but broke. We support things that we believe in, what we like. Men, on the other hand, it's either materialistic things that will actually try to attract a woman's attention, or they won't support it at all, but they'll talk that talk and then knock the person behind their back. And that's something I don't respect, and that's just something that black men really need to work on, because to bring each other down, that's not cool. And you hear stories after stories in the media about black men who are about something, black men who are either building or they're good students, whether it's high school students or college students who get gunned down. And you hear this often in the news. Recently, we heard about Jamal Molly Gaines, who was 21 in New Jersey, and he had a sneaker shop, I think it was called WAAAY, and he was a young entrepreneur. A lot of kids who are 21 aren't about business ownership. They're about partying and bullshitting. And he actually came together with a couple of his friends to open up a sneaker shop. You know, black men in sneakers, it's like black women in weed. They're inseparable. So you would think black men would come and support him and want the best for him and protect that shop, because it's actually theirs. It's not Foot Locker's. It's not some other race of person's business establishment where you feel that you might be looked at differently or just may not get properly served. He specifically opened a shop that caters to black men and the taste of black men in the hood. And what happened? The hood gunned him down. Someone killed him. And I bet you it was a black man. And I'm not saying this because I hate black men. On the contrary, I love black men. But I'm going to speak my truth if I find that it's truth and it needs to be spoken. And I'm speaking on it. Like, he got gunned down, but none of his merchandise got stolen. He's selling sneakers, good sneakers, quality sneakers, Jordans, Nikes, whatever your particular taste is, he's selling it. None of those got robbed, but his life did. Why? And no one seems to know why. I don't know if it's the whole stop snitching thing, or people honestly don't know, or they're covering up for the person. I don't know. But he didn't have to lose his life. But he did lose his life. And he's one of many black men who end up losing their lives because there's just this big hateration type of thing where it's like, if you coming up, you can't shine on me. You can't floss on me. You can't flaunt. You can't do this. You can't do that. And it's not even like this dude was going out here and driving through the hood and saying, all y'all niggas ain't shit. Look at me. Look at what I got. Y'all ain't doing it like me. He was just doing him. And doing him, aside from all the typical 9-to-5 bull or just the typical hood bull, people felt the need to take his life. People felt the need to end his progress because they didn't have any progress. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to black men being haters. A lot of corruption in the hood is like in poor black neighborhoods. And the thing that bothers me is that he could hire you. You could hire other black men who may not have job experience, who may have been, caught a felony or whatever. He could have hired you over someone else who probably would have looked at you as, you're a black man, X. You have a record, X. No job experience, X. He could have actually hired you, and now you gunned him down. So there isn't a sneaker store, or they might continue because he did have partners. But now, who's going to hire you? Who's going to take you seriously now? It's like, why would you do that? That's just disgusting. And then, like I said, crime typically happens in poor neighborhoods. This is a cross race. This is not a black person thing. The poorer the neighborhood, the higher the crime. And let's go take it all the way to Chicago with Chirac. You see on the daily, like, young black males posting with guns. I didn't even think you could legit, like, go to the store and buy. I didn't think you could do that. I would think you would have to be a police personnel. You would have to be in a military. You would have to have certain access, because these guns are not something that you could just buy at the gun shop. Yet these young boys, who I don't even think are old enough to even get a gun license, they're over here posting it on social media, making threads, thinking that this thing is cool. Like, it's just a tool. This is just a thing, until one of them gets shot. And you've seen this with Lil Jojo. Someone shot him, and all these other young black males, whether they're rappers or whether they're just ordinary black males. You see this all the time, especially with gangs. Gangs kill each other. Like, what's up with that? That shit is lame. I mean, to be honest with you, that shit is lame. Now, people will say, oh, gangs came out of protecting black neighborhoods from these police officers and yada yada yada, but I'm like, that's no longer the case. So why even bring that up? That's not how you living now, so why bring it up? You see these gangs are robbing people, are killing people, are raping each other, and it's like, no matter how many times you talk about black genocide and how that is not a good thing, they still want to rep a color. They still want to rep a flag. They still want to rep a block. They still want to rep a hood. And I'm like, what is that doing for you as a collective of black men? Like, you should be thinking on a higher level. Like, you should be thinking of seeing past 25. You should be making plans. You should be trying to elevate your neighborhood. Instead, you see people just gunning each other down. Like, what the hell? And it's like, no matter how many funerals you have, doesn't matter how many shrines you have, doesn't matter how many teddy bears and coffins, and even kids are getting killed in this ridiculousness, you don't see a change. You don't see a rapid change where it's like, dag, we could kill each other. Men can kill each other, but we're not going to kill the kids. We're not going to kill the women. We're not going to kill pregnant women. Like, that's just totally out of whack. We don't do that. I mean, we may be lowlives, but we do have standards. There's not even that. There's not even a standard where it's like, no children involved, no women involved. We just don't do that. That was like fair game. And I think the mentality is, the more savage you can be, the more props you can be. And once you get into that mentality, you're basically a savage because you don't care. And there is a lack of care and humility and brotherhood between black men. You see this on YouTube. You see the trolling on YouTube. If a YouTuber is making a video, let me back it up. When you're a black person on YouTube and you do have some type of platform and you are getting over 1,000 hits, you do have trolling. Like, that's automatic. Sometimes there are white people who are trolling and trying to get you to race bait and calling all types of niggers and whatnot. Sometimes it's not even white people, different races of people. But when I do see the comments, it's black men going in on each other. It's always some dumb ish. It's always some, oh, look at your hairline. Oh, look at your voice. Oh, look how you look. And it's like, that's so petty and catty. I would have thought you were a woman. Like, women do catty things like that. Pick apart each other's looks. As a man, you should not be interested in another man's look if you're heterosexual. And I feel like that has nothing to do with what the person is saying. If the person is saying something that could help you, that information could actually enlighten you, then why are you trying to pick apart how the person looks? And that's just black men. Black men always trying to be the jokester, always trying to be the clown, always trying to get a cheap laugh. And it's like, why do that? It's always to tear each other down. It's always on some hater-ish. And I'm like, if it was just that easy, if it was just that cool, then why don't you do it? The internet is relatively free. It's relatively free if you use someone else's internet, you go to the library, whatever, but it's not hard to make YouTube videos. If you really want to do it, you could do it too. Anybody could do it. I just started doing it. But to tear each other down, to pick each other apart, to clown on each other, it's just ridiculous. It's like, do you not have any decency? Like, can you not be immature? Can you just, like, give props where props are due? Like, it's sad because other groups of people would be uplifting each other, giving critiques that are positive, helping build that person up, giving them information, context, helping that person reach a wider base and having them actually come up off of YouTube where they can do their own thing, where they can establish their own and maybe start off on YouTube, but now they got their own production company or whatever the case may be. They would be trying to make connections, but black people, it's like they either want to box you in or they want to take you down. It's just like, that's very disgusting. That mindset is very disgusting. Even a regular black person thing, it's not even a poor black person thing, it just happens to be a black person, but specifically black male thing. You even see this with celebrities. Like, how many black celebrities do you see beefing, who had beefs? You don't see this with country artists, you don't see this with bluegrass artists, you don't see this with pop artists, you only see this with black artists, specifically in rap. There's always someone there saying some slick things, always trying to take you down, always think that they can be better at what you do than you, but they're not doing it. And it's ridiculous how even with your own genre, quote unquote, black people own hip-hop, or hip-hop belongs to black people can't get it together. Black people are not coming together to open up distribution companies. They're not coming together to make their own Sonys or their own Warner Brothers or anything like that. But they always got something to say to cut each other down. They always got something slick to say. They always got something to bring the drama, bring the hype, bring controversy. But when it comes to making serious money and helping other black artists come up, nah. It's always on some, you think you're better than me, you're gonna try to take my shine. There's always this some hateration thing. It's always on some dog eat dog mentality. We recently saw in the media with black youngster, the guy who tried to cash a check or whatever in his bank, or tried to take money out of his bank, and it was like over $100,000 for a car. Out of all the things, a car, but you know, other groups of people are trying to build businesses and black people trying to buy trinkets, but whatever. So he went to the bank and he tried to get money out of his bank account, and the bank alerted the authorities, and he tried to make it a race thing, and it's not even really a race thing. If anybody went to the bank and tried to get $10,000 or transfer $10,000 into their bank account, the bank would automatically be notifying the police, because there's actually a policy, I think it was to stop money laundering, especially when it came to like drug dealers and whatnot, that if you are transferring or taking out large quantities of money up to $10,000, they will notify the police, because they are going to question you. Now, if you're a small business and you're legit, they might just look at it, okay, this is a transaction, that's what they do on a regular. But if you're not a business owner, you don't have anything where money is consistently trading, they're going to alert the police. Like, this is not just a black third person thing, it's just a people thing. So they alarmed the police. He turned it into a race thing, which he may not be informed. Most people don't know that, so he is justified to believe that, oh, I'm black, so that's why you did it, which isn't so far-fetched, because we do live in a white supremacy society, but that's not why the police came and why the bank called the police. And he made a big commotion on it, and you know, niggas got a flex, so he came out with his stats to show that he really got it, or whatever. Fine. Now he has beef with Young Dolph. Ask me who this dude is, I don't know, but I'm guessing he's a Memphis rapper. He's going in on black youngster who signed to Yo Gotti, you know, down in the that guy. And I guess they're beefing with each other. Lord knows why they're beefing, but they're beefing. And now you have Rich Homie Quan and Young Thug, they're arguing and beefing or whatever, and it's like, I don't know if it's soon as niggas come into money and all of a sudden they want to show up and beef with people, and they have this thing where money now makes me, money now solidifies me, money now makes me who I am, so now I gotta show my ass, now I gotta beef, now I have to talk out of both sides of my neck, now I gotta be pompous and supercilious. I don't know if that's the case, or it's just niggas just do this. Like, no matter what level you are, whether you're poor, whether you're middle class, whether you're rich, just that niggerism in you that makes you want to beef with other black people. And I see this specifically with black men. It's just a bad example of black men and brotherhood if you always are consistently fighting, especially when you see it on the media. Like, that's the hype, that's the money. Like, black men gotta be beefing with each other on some Mandingo shit. Like, you just can't get along. Even when you're on the same platform, even when you're on the same level of success, you still can't get along, you still can't merge, you still can't come together humble with your brother to build something bigger and better. Nah, I gotta tear you down, I gotta be the only one on top. And we've seen this. It's not just a new rapper thing. We've seen this with 50 Cent in the game. The notorious beef, I guess we could say, was Biggie Smalls versus Tupac Shakur, and they both ended up smoked at the end of the day. At the end of the day, they both ended up dead off of East Coast versus West Coast, and Biggie versus Tupac, and blah, 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 that I'm pretty sure the media inserted themselves into that made it worse than it actually was. But for the fact that Tupac got gunned down twice, once he survived it, the second time also he took his life, and Biggie ended up dead too. It just shows you that this beef thing, this whole I gotta go at each other thing, that needs to stop. It should have never went to that far. It should never went that far where you literally had coast of people who didn't even know what was the issue interjecting themselves, and to the fact that guns and violence was involved. That was totally out of whack. But you see this with black men. Like, there is a crab in a barrel mentality. You just have to drag each other down, because there can't be kings, plural, multiple. There just has to be a king. And to continue on that thought, like, I hate when people have top 10 favorite raps or top 10 favorite rap artists. I hate that, to be honest with you, because I feel like there are thousands of rappers, and I can't put thousands into top 10. I like artists for specific reasons, and there's different categories. There's quote-unquote alternative hip-hop. This would be the Diggable Planets, the KRS-Ones, Trap Called Quest, De La Souls, and so on and so forth. You have the trap artists. I don't need to tell you who the trap artist is, because they don't want in the radio ring now. You have the gangster rappers who kind of like the trap rappers, but I guess the trap rappers would be the newer and like 2.0 versions of the gangster rappers. You have house party songs. Like, you just have different artists for different things. So I don't do top 10. But even with the top 10 list, it's like, if you number one, then you quote unquote shitting on everybody, and then there's just the climb thing where I just gotta tear each other down, and this person shouldn't be on the list, and this person needs to do more work, and it's just, you can never be satisfied with just you getting money together, you're successful together, you're doing great things together. It's always on some I gotta be number one and I gotta shit on everybody, or I gotta tear down whoever is in front of me, because there's no way that we can all just be on one accord. And like I said, to finish this video off, because this video can go forever, but I ain't got forever, I got things to do. But it just reminds me of Mandingo fighting. Like, every behavior I see that is negative of black people today, and I'm not just talking about black Americans, I'm just talking about black people in general. This means black people in the Pacific Islands, black people in the Caribbean, black people in South America, black people in North America, wherever you are. If it looks like I could throw a family reunion and you would be there, I'm talking about you. I see every negative behavior that black people exhibit stems from colonization or slavery. And this whole tearing each other thing down reminds me of Mandingo fighting. It reminds me you have to fight to the death for somebody else's entertainment, for white supremacy. I mean, let's be honest, who really made money like that off of the beefs of Tupac and Biggie? The magazine, the media, the concerts, the executives, the label. Those are not black people. They made money off of them, and until to this day there will be gazillions of unreleased Tupac songs that are going to be released, and there's going to be gazillion Biggie songs that are going to be released, and who's really getting the cut out of that? So we're killing each other and defeating each other and bringing each other down for other people's pleasure, for other people's amusement. And at the end of the day, it's detrimental to us, and we're not even getting a cut out of it. It's just like black people in general. But on this topic, black men just gotta do better. And I really want to get into the gang deaths and how that just completely benefits white supremacy and how it totally disenfranchises black people. I probably will do that in next week's video. But yeah, like, we gotta do better as people. We just cannot keep going around thinking that there has to be just one king or just one queen or just this is the epitome of beauty or this is the epitome of success, and we all have to like drag each other down. Like, I'm so sick and tired of us talking out of both sides of our mouth. It takes a village to raise a kid, yet the village ignores the kid and the village is too consumed with bringing each other down. Like, we gotta do better as a people. We gotta support each other. We gotta love each other. We gotta put our money where our mouth is. We gotta uplift each other. Like, I'm not saying that we all gotta organize. If you're a degenerate, if you're a murderer, you're a thief, you're this and you're that, I don't want to organize with you, because truth be told, there's certain lines where you cross it, it's just done deal. Like, there's no coming back from it. But when you are a person and you're doing something, you're striving and you're trying to become something, if you're in that person's immediate surroundings, like you live around this person, support that person, uplift that person, help that person, because at the end of the day, it would only benefit you. There's a reason why people, when they are from the hood, they leave the hood, because it's like the hood don't love you, the hood don't support you, the hood ain't really riding for you, the hood hates you. Like, there's a meme that went on something like, there's nothing in these streets but a court date or a casket. And it's true. The streets don't love you. The streets will not have your back. There's a reason why when black people come up, they leave the hood, because the hood is not going to be successful if the hood doesn't support people from the hood. If the hood doesn't have a love vibe, if the hood doesn't start doing degenerate things, if the hood ain't trying to bring each other down, kill each other, rape each other, if the hood is going to continue doing these things, the hood will never sustain itself. The hood will never actually come up and be like the suburbs, but in the city. It will never happen like that if the hood doesn't change its hood mentality. So
that's the end of my video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it enlightened you. Of course, this is not every black male, but I did feel the need to make this video because I see it consistently on a daily basis, whether it's black men in the media, local black men on social media. It's just like there's just hater mentality. Like, there's always a tear down, and I don't think that's cool, especially as men. Men should be building. Men should not be gossiping. Men should not be trying to tear each other down. Men should not be on some hating mentality. Like, we need to do better, especially as black men. Like, black men don't really have that much of a success record. Black men are being victimized. Black men are being targeted. The last thing black men need to be doing is tearing each other down, targeting each other. So that's why I made that video, and hopefully whoever are the ones perpetuating this mentality will stop, see the video and, change. Okay. So that's why I made the video. Hopefully it enlightened you. Hopefully it inspired you to do better if you are one of these black men who are haters. Of course, this is not all black